I'm sorry I'm a bit late, but now I'm here. But now I'm here, boys. Hello, 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 hello. Let's jump into what we have to do because we don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. Hello. Hi. Look at this beautiful smile. Hello everyone and welcome to another stream of Plane Shift, where we develop games, in particular one game. One game is more than enough, I have to say. It's more than enough. Let me jump directly into what I want to do tonight. Because I think that there is quite a bit to do and I want to learn... how to do cutscenes in Unreal, okay? And I, as usual, I didn't prepare anything. I'm sorry for that, but you know, during the day I have zero time, so unfortunately I need to create stuff, you know, together on the fly. So let's see. The first thing I would do, I would search, I think in Unreal documentation, right? So we go Unreal, exactly, cinematic sequences, right? So we want to understand how to make a cinematic sequence. The cinematic sequence for me, yes, let's create a mission, right? Yeah, we need a mission. We 100% need a mission for this. This was a good reasoning, but we can close it for now. This was a good reasoning, but we can close it for now. This was, no, this is still a good reasoning, so let's keep it. Maybe let's transform this one, okay? We will just clear out... we will just clear out everything here. Why so strange? Okay. We'll just clear out everything here and we start a new mission. Oops. No. This is not the right color. And we save it as Unreal Engine Mission Cinematic Sequences. Unreal Engine Mission Cinematic Sequences. Okay? So what I want to do, so the first thing I need to understand, the tools, right? I mean, what are the capabilities? So we need to understand that, right? I think I have a basic understanding because anyway I've seen some of the sequence, but my issue is how to do it in multiplayer, because basically the sequence needs to run only for the main character, right? Only for the, let's say, not the main character, let's say only for the current player, right? Only for the current player. So actually it's single player inside multiplayer, right? So I have that problem. The other thing that I want to understand is how to have my character with all its equipment part of the sequence. I have no idea. So there is another big question I have in my mind, right? And the other one is basically, can it be a separate level, right? Can it be a separate level? I think we have two scenarios. We have the scenario where we really want it as a separate level and the scenario where we want it in the current world, right? Yes, I think we have two scenarios. Separate level and current world. Current world I think is probably the easiest because the game is already has everything loaded. But if it's a separate level, I want to understand how it works, right? And yeah, these are pretty much the the thing. And I think we can review an examples. I have the action RPG, which I think is a very good example. He's already doing some of that. I have it open here, and I can show you what it does. You see, this is a cinematic sequence. Right? So basically, there are like 20 seconds in which the actual world, I mean, the player is standing still somewhere. I don't know where, but anyway, I think is there. The player controller and the actor are there. They are like standing still doing nothing, and we will see in multiplayer how it works. But then the game adds actors and plays animations and moves the camera around, you know, and also is using some effects on the lenses of the camera, and to create the cinematic sequence. Okay, we can see it again. You see there is the character walking, he's spawning some monsters, he's working on the camera focus, is zooming in, is playing some actions, and then the game starts, right? So now in our case it's slightly different, but I think that the basic concept is exactly that, right? And I remember a long time ago I have opened up, you know, the sequences. I try to understand a bit of this sequencer, understand how this was kind of working, but very little. So I think I have pretty much zero experience on this. I think I have pretty much zero experience. I don't even know how to play it or whatever. So here you see you have different tracks. So you are basically reusing sub tracks, right, which are this, and yeah, but I really have no idea. I really have no idea how to build it. So we have to learn this. Okay, we have to learn how to do this. So let's see. I have no idea where to start, but I think we start from the documentation and we go from there, right? I think it's the best way. I think it's the best way, my friends. I would like, if possible, to have the basic course of Unreal Engine tutorial cutscenes. Is this official or not? It seems to be. It seems to be not official stuff. Unreal Engine learning. What was the learning thing? Online learning, yes. Learning. Learn online. And I think there was. What is the. Yeah, probably here. Ah, yes. I think I need to sign in though. Okay, I signed in. So if I search or cinematic, or if I search sequencer, I think we can just search sequencer and probably is the technical guide to linear content creation sequence. Sequence is a Unreal Engine multi-track editor used for creating playback cinematic sequence in real time. This one is very new, is 24 of August 22. I don't know if this is a beginner course. Sequenze, blah blah blah, sequenze. Is an official course. Is it online, like I can go through it right now, or not? Module 1 out of 4. Overview of the sequence. What? I'm already confused, I'm already confused, boys. Published August 22, updated September 22. Official course. Can I run? How do I run this thing? Do I need to click on sequencer and start with sequencer? I think so. I think it's this. Sequencer overview. Sequencer is an engine multi-track solution for feedback cinematic. Track can consist of animation, events, audio, and Sequencer can create, modify, reorder, delete. Okay. Sequencer can add a production hub, combining aspect. Okay. The following week we give you a quick overview of the sequencer. Sequencer overview. Sequencer overview. Sequencer gives user the ability to create an in-game cinematic through a specialized multi-track area. Creating sequence leveled in tracks. Sequencer in a real engine consists of two main parts: a level sequence asset and a level sequence actor. Hello, Ula. Hello, Serio09 that said something that should not be said. Hello, Raoni. Yeah, I'm a bit delayed tonight. Is it normal that I have to complete 5 checks to reply to messages in the forums? No idea. What do you mean 5 checks? I mean, there may be an anti-spam thingy. I don't know. The level sequence asset is located in the content browser. It contains the sequence data. These include tracks, cameras, keyframe animations. Yeah, I just want to check something because there was an example project file, right? Display animation sample. Do you think the display animation sample is available also? Multi Studio demonstrate real-time linear content development with Slay, a new sample project for animated content starting fresh from the roll. No. Oh my god, this would be insanely big. But do you think that perfect? Do you think that is a... Okay. GG. GG! Let's try to do it with the launcher. No, because this may be a good example. Maybe it's really showing, you know, all the techniques and how to do things. So maybe. I just want to know if it works for 427, but if not, I also have 5. But I would like to... that's a good question though. Huh? Should I learn it on 427 or should I learn it on 5? Well, I want to use it on 427 at the moment, so... Let me see if we can download it from here somehow. Can I, please? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It seems it is a bit broken. If I search Slay... No, Slay is not here. Slay is not here. No, so it did not add it to the... Unfortunately. It did not add it to my thingy. I mean, we can use action RPG anyway. Ah, he did it now. He did it now. Okay, create project. Can we create a project in a place that is not... Like, for example... Unreal projects. Yes, exactly. Let's create it here. Let's create it here. Okay, so it will start to download the thing. I assume that if it's done with pieces of nanite, it will be like 3000 gigabytes, but millions of terabytes. No, it's 31 gigabytes. Well, anyway. It's 31 gigabytes, but it should be fairly quick to download, eh? With my speed. I don't know if the stream will suffer. But... Okay, so let's continue while it's downloading, because maybe we will use that example, right? So it's saying the level sequence asset is located in the content browser that contains the sequencer data. These include tracks, camera, keyframes, and animation. There is assigned to a level sequence actor in order to bind its data to a level. And so here is the first question, you know. What happens with word composition? Because obviously we are using word composition and you're not... But anyway, I would say that we will bind it to our persistent level, so I think that's the thing. Level sequence asset. So for example, this thing is a level sequence asset. It looks like, yes. Level sequence asset. I have no idea under which category is it, but maybe animation. Level sequence, yes, but under animation, level sequence. Movies in animation for actor. Okay, so if I create a new level sequence asset, what happens? I have my sequencer. I can add new tracks. I can add an event track, a camera track, shot track. Okay. Okay. So let's go back here 1 second. So the level sequence asset is basically containing tracks, camera, keyframes, is associated to a level, and I think is basically the timeline, right? The level sequence actor is located in the level and is the container for the level sequence asset. You can select it to view the details in the details panel. Okay, but doesn't mean that I just drop my thing into the level, or probably yes. Let me see if there is a level sequence here. Probably there is. Level sequence actor. Yes, actually there is, and is here. You see, it's this guy. It is this guy that is just dropped into the level. And which kind of property he has? SQL intro master. So he's pointing to this guy. You can say open level sequence. Okay, and it's just opening this. And then the master has a number of sub-scenes, right? And these sub-scenes are nothing else than these ones, right? SQ intro enemy data, SQ intro 001, SQ intro 003. Now the only thing that I don't understand is how do I see it, but probably it will tell us how to do it later on. It repels people to even write on the forums. I don't understand what you are speaking about, Raoni. I mean, I use the forum regularly. I've never seen any specific alert or whatever. The questions? Yes, the question is just done to avoid bots registering or whatever, or other people registering. So we want only real humans in the forum. If you mean the intro stuff, yes. The intro stuff, yes, but it's for registration. Is when you register. When you register, is asking you that, and after you register, is never asking you again. Does it need 5 questions? Yes, it needs 5 questions. So, okay, so this is okay. So okay. Playback, autoplay. The sequence automatically play with the actor is created. Loop option for the sequence. Don't loop the sequence to play finish. Loop indefinitely cause the sequence to loop forever. Play rate, the speed of the sequence to play. Are these the properties of our? Yes, these are the properties of our actor, right? So basically these are the properties of this actor, right? So if I click on his yeah, exactly, autoplay, loop, play rate, start offset, random start time, restore state. So all these properties, because you can put multiple, I guess I can drop, you know, this guy in, and I can then change these properties. Now I don't fully understand what does this mean, right? I mean, y needs to be in the level, but probably needs to be in the level because it needs an instance of an object to initiate, right? Yeah, probably. Let's keep only this one for now. Let's keep only this one. Loop, restore, and start time. I think that's all understandable. Cinematic, yes, there is also cinematic section. Disable movement input. Okay, so probably when, yes, while that is playing, your character cannot move. I think it's good anyway. I think that is good. Disable look at. Disable look at. What is it? Disable rotation input from the player pawn for duration of the sequence. Okay, so you cannot. So I assume that this one that they put in is all enabled. No, this one that they put in does not have everything enabled. Maybe that explain why some section of this announcement date in 2019. I don't know. There is the first quest, you know, the first quest of the game. Get into the forums. If you cannot, I'm sorry. You can go play another game. Our game is made for people with brain. And okay, so that we understood. Hide player, hide HUD, disable camera cuts. Okay. Sequencer creation. There are several ways you can create and assign your level sequences. One of the quickest ways is to click on cinematics, drop down in the level editor on my toolbar, and select add sequence level. We want to create a new sequence level asset, and blah blah blah. And give it a name and click on save. One created, your level is now contained level sequence actor with a reference to newly created sequence asset. Yeah, is it the same as just dropping it into the... No? By the way, I never clicked on this. Cinematics, add level sequence. Create a new level sequence asset and place it in an instance of this level. So you have to... So it basically is creating it, it's choosing... Well, yeah, but it's kind of the same to do it the way I did it, right? An alternate way is to, yeah, exactly, is to just add input animation, sequence, you create a new level asset. This is how I did it, you know, a few minutes ago. And you just drop it. Okay, so these two ways, but I think for me, creating and dropping is more intuitive, right? It's kind of more intuitive. Then bind your level sequence asset to the level sequence actor by dragging and dropping the asset into level property. Okay. Sequence editor. The sequencer tab contains the sequence editor, which provides an interface for creating automatic content. Cinematic. There are various ways you can open this window. Click on cinematics. My level sequence. Okay, which is here. So there is a reference to the one that is in your world. Okay. And the other way is by clicking the level sequence director. Okay. Fine. Fine. You can also open it by double clicking. Okay, fine. When opening a sequence from the content browser, you must currently have a level open in which the sequence is being referenced, otherwise the content will be unbound. Ah. Oh, I understand. So if I unload this level, right? If I unload what? It is not loaded. Probably everything is in persistent though. Okay. Anyway, but that is reasonable. So you need to have it open. Finally, you can open it by navigating to the menu bar and clicking now. Okay. Windows Cinematic. Windows Cinematic Sequence. Okay. Sequencer recorder. That would be interesting. Visit the sequencer editor reference page for more information on the sequencer editor. UI tool option of the page. Sequencer features. Sequencer curve editor tracks. Master sequence. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, let's say that we read this page. We read this page. Right, so the sequencer overview, we did it. To get an understanding of the workflow we recommend, you can take a look at the Slay project and set it up with your levels and the workflow involved. It can be downloaded for free in the marketplace. The following video breaks down the use of sequencer in Slay and can help you to get a good grasp of how it can be used in a production context with multiple department non-destructive edits. Okay, I mean, my problem is not still downloading. 19 gigabytes out of 30, but anyway. Okay, let's go with this. I guess I need to stop the other music, otherwise we have two music running.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
My name's Asusa Giri from
Wow, it's 55 minutes.
And welcome to Sequencer. So today we're going to be going over Sequencer, and we're going to.
I'm going to skip a bit, okay?
And it defaults open to the main temple level. And so what we're going to do is inside of our content folder,
wow, this
sequences,
this temple, boys.
We're going to open that up, and then we're going to double click on TF edit, which right now it's a lot of stuff that's inside of here.
It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I'll go.
This example, I think, is a very complex example.
With Sequencer, what this all is and how we're actually going to recreate some of this to a certain degree. And so in order to do that first, we'll exit out of Sequencer. So generally when this...
I think this is already different from what we have, right? This is probably in Real Engine 5. No, this is not Real Engine 4. This is not Real Engine 4. When was this video recorded? Let me see the date. 8 months ago. Okay, so they did it on 8 months ago. So it means that the sequencer is fairly the same, you know, between the old and the new, hopefully. So I don't have to then relearn everything.
Oftentimes will open up as a separate window, and when that happens here, I'll just try to...
Okay, so what he's suggesting is to put the if you open up this, right, and you have the sequencer, how you spell it, to put it into the into this bar, or you can also put it, I guess, into this bar. No, it's probably not a good idea. Probably this place is the best place, I guess. Yes, probably this place is the best place, I assume.
Map it out. There we go. It tends to just show up as a separate window, and what you can do is you can then just click and drag on the tab here and dock it somewhere that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I think at the bottom is good.
Go to our content browser, and inside of our env folder, which holds all of our environments. In this case, the master level for the temple and all of the sub levels. But for what we want to do for our purposes, we're going to want to make our own test level. And so in order to do that, just to keep things nice and tidy as well for the project, in case for any production you want to, or any project you want to move forward.
And this guy's taking it very, very slow. I mean, it's good, but
new folder. We're gonna go, we see levels, and then we're gonna double click it open for us to save. So we're just gonna, I say blank, but it's really just dark.
So he created a full new level.
Go down to our plane, and we're gonna click and we highlight good measures and good habits. It's always good. What we're all.
I'm just skipping forward, the guys here. He's just creating a test level. Ah, okay. Here he's doing the thing.
And will be effectively your bread and butter, and one is a master sequence. So the one that you're going to be commonly using and will be effectively your bread and butter from here on out. If you're going to start using sequencers more, will be your level sequence, as that's where you're going to be throwing in all your assets, all of your keyframing of your lights, spawning in stuff, spawning out stuff. A lot of the shenanigans of what you're going to be dealing with is going to be all inside of your level sequence. And as your master sequence, which we'll get into that for sure, but this is what's going to hold all of these other sequences inside of it.
So it's just a container.
A little bit later.
Just a container of the other
so we can get
for us.
A good grip of our level sequence. We're going to add level sequence, go into our sleigh, and then from there also go into our sequences, go into the new folder that we created called test level sequences that we just made. And inside of here, I'm just going to give it a name. And I'll just call it as well, test sequence 00.
Let me just skip this.
View conventions always. Let's set up camera cut. This is where you can add your new cameras, or you can also go into your cinematics in your place actors, and then you will have a cinematic camera actor. And then you can also click and drag that camera and throw it into sequencer as well. But back to what's inside of here. And so to the right of your camera creation button is effectively your render button. And once
so the render is the one that is doing the thing? No. Render is really saving it to I think it's saving it to a movie, but who cares?
You have your shot that is ready and that you feel like is good to go, and you want to see it outside of UE and have it be a full little movie. This is the button that you're going to be hitting.
We would never use this,
and that you're going to be
we may use it if we have to create some trailers.
What you have visually in UE out into the world.
Okay.
And so this is the options for your rendering as well. And then also from here, we're just going to skip and jump to your frames per second, whereas currently we have it at 30 frames per second. But for film and for the short that we did, we forever.
Okay, fine. Let's skip this.
Keyframe is at the right of that is your play button, which once you hit play, just kicks it off and lets your scrubber go and shows how your sequencer is going to be.
Yeah, this is what is confusing me a bit. So if I press play, what happens here? I mean, nothing happens, right? So should I see something into the world, or? So this is the first thing that I don't know. Like, let me open the master sequence, because maybe the master. If I play the master sequence. Okay. Okay. Okay, so it actually played in the current level. That is the first complexity, right? Because we don't have a current level. We have a work composition that is all dynamically loaded, and so I don't know. But yes, in this simple example, I have my world loaded, and I have my level loaded, and yeah, you see, and at this point, oh wow, I can also, okay. So here you have the spawn of the guy, right? The spawn of the guy, and we have the fact that he's walking forward up to here, and then he's waiting. The camera this camera, you see that the camera here is actually panning. So it's changing the camera from down there to here. Don't know exactly how it does it, but it's what it does. And then it's spawning, you know, the two monsters with a kind of an effect, a visual effect, which by the way is pretty cool effect. It's a very nice effect. I like it. And then doing the rest. Okay, so yeah, what I think is confusing me a bit is if all my stuff is loaded dynamically, then how the hell can I do this, right? Because this is like the happy path, right? So everything is in the level, everything is loaded, everything is available. Well, in theory, the monsters are spawned anyway, so probably there is a spawn actor here somewhere, right? There is probably a spawn actor inside of this thing. Spawned, no. I guess there is. I guess there is somewhere a spawned. Yeah, spawned, you see. So I guess there is. But how do I see Grantling Guardian Weapon H spawned? Okay, let's not jump forward too much. Let's just try to understand whatever this guy is doing. Let's go step by step, because if I try to skip forward too much, I would just mess up. So to the right of our
play button, we have to next, which is to the next frame. As you can see in this, so
okay, fine.
You can just hit this jump to next key, and it'll snap to the next keyframe. It'll move.
Jump to the next key. What does that mean? What he means by key? I mean, key like in animation, or a key, because I don't see any key here. Well, there is something there. Ah, okay. So this is a key, yeah? So it's created similarly to the animation editor, right? Okay. Anyway, we don't know what to associate to a key, but
to the next keyframe,
we can go to a key that way.
And then this just snaps us straight to the end. At the opposite side is literally the exact same, just in reverse.
Okay, fine.
The test level, just so we can have something in level that we can modify and that we can start using. And so now that he's in our level, he's not a part of our sequencer, as we haven't attached him in any way, shape, or form. And same thing with any of our lights, any of our planes. They're not inside of our sequencer, even though they're inside of our level. And so what we're going to do with our Oni is we're going to do one of two methods. One is in the world outliner, select, and then click and drag and add him into your sequencer.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I need to understand, because this is my problem, right? I have I think we are going to do the same thing as soon as this thing is okay. This is now downloaded. We can use that example instead of the action RPG. I think it's fine, and it's verifying. It's verifying 94%. I don't know if it's only for Unreal Engine 5. I hope not. I mean, it's 2021, so I think no, right? But it's still mentioned on the Unreal Engine 5 documentation, so I think it should be good. Should be good to go. So we put it where? Under G. Under G Unreal Projects. No. Under E Unreal Projects. Yes. Slay animation sample. Okay, the only question is in which engine you will actually open it up. I would prefer to open it in 427, but let me see. He's asking me. Is asking to compile, but there is no source here. So let me just try to do the usual trick that I do, which is the fact that I just create, yes, an editor.bat that is actually launching the editor. I mean, it should work, but let me see. Because this one is using. Hello. Who joined? Hello, Unreal Engine. Hi. Hey, we are learning about the sequencer today. Hello, hello, guys. Hey, thank you for the raid. Thank you. Okay, since you just joined, then let me stop 1 second what I'm doing. And let me explain who we are and what we do. We are a small team of people that are working on a game since very long time, just for fun. And we are working on a game called Plane Shift, which is our own game. And let me start it up so you can see it. It's a multiplayer MMO in a fantasy setting. And we are we develop pretty much everything for it. So we develop the story, we develop the characters, the world, constructed most of the assets, even if some of the assets we took from the marketplace in the most recent years, I would say. And let me start it up and I will show you a bit how it looks. At the moment, the game is pretty much functional from the point of view of, fighting, casting spells, and things like that. And let me just have the server start up. It's loading maps, so it would take just a few seconds to load map. Well, it would take probably a minute to load all the maps, also because it's the first start of the day. Hello, Turning Cog. Hi. Hey, thank you a lot for the raid. Very appreciated. Now we have all these little guys that are running through the screen. I can show you a screenshot meanwhile, so maybe there is a screenshot of the last update. We released the new alpha a few days ago, and there is a new area. If some of you have used the Unreal Marketplace, you may notice something that you already know, like this building is actually a piece of the Unreal Marketplace. I actually changed it a bit, but and also a few other pieces here, like for example this shelf is taken from the marketplace. So there are some pieces. Some other stuff is built, like these candles and the bottle, and I think the stool probably we built, the vase and the flowers. The bed I think is derived from a marketplace asset and then rebuilt. The character is our own, so we created and rigged it and animated it somehow. So let me see if the server is going up. So yeah, it's going up now. It should be up in a second, boys. Okay, so we can log in. So there is the character selection. You can select, I mean, these are all pre-made characters that this player has. So I can, select one of them, and then I click play, and I enter into the world. There is a view of the main city seen from the top. Now this screenshot is a bit old, but anyway, it's representing a bit of the city. And yes, and here we are into the world. At the moment it's night, but I can make it day. Because I'm a game master in the game, and so I can change the time of the day. So for the animations and for the movement we used advanced locomotion. and use the C++ version of advanced locomotion that allows us to do mantling and at various height. So he can mantle like this, like stretching his arms up, but he can also mantle at lower level, I mean at different height like this, right? There is ALS CPP, is a very good library that can be used in a real engine for animations. And we added few animations on top, like the grid animation or other animations here, right? That you can use with your character. This is multiplayer, so everything you see is multiplayer enabled. And yes, we have some particles here. The world is fairly big. We use world composition for the world, and let me fly a second. So I can fly up and can show you a bit of the world. So this is the main city. There is a very big tower there, and a forest and a temple. And there is also another big building in that direction, which is kind of a giant elevator between this level and the lower level, and it's a kind of a special area where there are some additional quests and other things that you can so we have an inventory system. I mean the equipment is working fully, and we have a magic system. You can actually cast spells and fight creatures. The fighting is not very good, I have to say, at the moment, so it's something that definitely I would like to improve in the future. But yeah, we have I can show you maybe some other cities or some other areas, and just that you get a sense. Let me go maybe in a newer area. This one. This is a new village. This is the village that was in the previous screenshot. It should load up. At the moment we moved about 5-6 kilometers away, right? So this is definitely not the typical not the typical way that it will work, right? So the player will just seamlessly load in a distance. And yeah, this is a bit of a village. There are some sheeps. Actually they are called kormi, and some cows in the central part of the village with a tavern, and with some we can go and visit the guy. It's not loaded yet. It's not loaded at the moment, but because I'm not loading NPC at the moment, I guess. But you can enter this house. Yes, this house is we have a nice library and things, so you can explore, you can interact with the world. Yeah, that is the house of the screenshot, right? The guy was there in the middle, but it's the same house that I shown you in the screenshot. And yeah, I don't know what else to show you, but we can cast spells, we can fight, we have a crafting system, we have a quest system, and we have a pet system as well. So you can summon your pets, and the pets are actually creatures that you can mount, and you can ride. It's not fitting into the stairs, so I cannot go down, but you get the point, right? So you can use your mounts in the world, and yeah. So plus we have an artificial intelligence system that is based on paths. So if I do path show, for some reason it didn't work. I don't know why, but in theory, yes, because I'm in the dummy database. Yeah. At the moment we don't have it here, because I'm using a lighter version of the database, just to avoid loading too much stuff when I'm doing my test and my developments, right? But yeah, so it is pretty much, you know, the game that we are developing. The game will be released for free for everyone to use, like we always did in the past. This game was made with another engine long time ago, and now we are porting it to Unreal, right? And it's pretty much ported. I think the main work is done. I'm just finishing. I'm just finishing some work. But we hope to release it soon. Soon meaning, I don't know, a few months, few weeks, few months. I don't know exactly, but we're planning to release it as soon as possible. Okay, so thank you again for the Unreal Engine raid. For any one of you that want to stay on the stream, you are more than welcome. I know that usually, you know, when a raid happens, people maybe are not that interested in the other things, but if you want to stay, you are more than welcome. If you want to ask any questions about the game or any question about the development today, I'm learning about the sequencer, because I would like to have some cinematic scenes in the game when in specific locations, and also to give a bit of a sense of the story, right? Of the story of the game. So yeah. Yep. Okay, so this was my introduction to our game. I think I will go back now to do what I was doing. But if you have any questions, can all the players get their own home? At the moment, no, but you can have a guild house. Yes, exactly, like Hula is saying. So we don't have a personal home yet. I would say mostly for a matter of space, because owning a house, I mean, if every player owns an house, you know, we have a problem with space, unless we do instancing and other stuff. So, like for example, this house at the moment is associated to an NPC, and the NPC is using this house, and the same with this one, but other houses may be empty. But if you are in a guild, right, there is a test guild. You may also own with a number of with some members and stuff. You can also own a guild house, and a guild house is basically a specific home that is located somewhere in the world, right? Connected to a real building, and that you can buy with in-game currency, but it's not real money. I mean, it's fake money. It's just money you can make in the game, let's say. And yeah, and you can buy the guild house, and then in the guild house, yes, you can put furniture, you can put whatever you want. Yes, you can put chests and things like that, right? Yeah. Thank you again for the raid, very appreciated. And I will now continue what I was doing. What I was doing was to learn about the sequencer or sequencer. I don't know how you say it in English. How do you say it in English? You say sequencer or sequencer? I have no idea. Sequencer. I think it's sequencer. If I do like this, I think I can spell it.
Sequencer.
Okay, sequencer. Okay, that. I'm not a native English speaker. Sequencer. And yeah, we are learning about it. So there are some standard courses on the Unreal Engine communities, and I was actually going through this, trying to understand it, do some examples, and see how it can apply to my game. I have few questions that I really need to answer while I learn more about it. That are, yes, what are the capabilities, but also how do I do it in multiplayer? So can I, in a multiplayer world with world composition, run a cinematic sequence only for one player because maybe he's part of a quest or something is happening, you know, in his memory, in his story? And can it be a separate level? Can the cinematic sequence be actually in a separate level? And what happens with loading, you know? So should it be can it be loaded on the fly just for the time we need it, or we have to preload it somewhere, right? And also another question I have is like, how do I have my character with all his equipment as part of the sequence? And then there are some examples I want to review. So Action RPG, I think is good because he has an animated a cinematic sequence at the beginning, but it's also this other Slay the Temple or whatever it's called that I was trying to test now, right? Maybe we can go there now and try to see if yeah, this is what I was doing exactly when you raided me. I was doing this. I was changing this path and see if I could launch it without too much trouble. I usually like to do this to have like a startup command so that I can just double click it. Now I have to see if it works or if it's giving it seems that it's done for a different engine. We can also launch it with 5, but I really wanted to launch it with my with my 427. I think the reason is that inside the U project, you say inside the U project, there is a bunch of stuff. And by the way, we don't need any of this stuff. So I don't know why in the default example, you know, this is a sample you just download for making the cinematic. Why they're adding all these plugins, right? Like Steam VR, Oculus VR. Maybe control rig is needed. That I don't know. But you know what? You know what? Just going to launch it this way. Without anything. And see if it works anyway. I think it will. I think it will. You want some bombs, Hula? Okay, I can have some bombs. Let's see what happens. You ready for the bombs? You ready for the bombs? Let's go. Pew, 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 pew. Oh my god. Yeah. That's a lot of people, huh? That's a lot of people. Okay, we just need to wait the compilation of the shaders. 45%, famous percentage. And then we will continue to follow this one. We were following this tutorial. Which is explaining how to use the sequencer.
To the empty little area that you have. That is one way. Another way, since he's in level, another way is by clicking track and then actor to sequencer. And then since we already have him in our sequencer, he's not going to show up again. But this is another method in which we can do it. And then
actor to sequencer. Okay. Yeah, still compiling shaders, boys. He's still compiling shaders. I don't know. I think this is a pretty big level. I mean, it's 30 gigabyte of stuff. I don't know exactly why, but I think it's because it's a fully comprehensive example. I think the action RPG may be a good one as well. Yeah, I think it would take a bit. Let's go on with the tutorial why the shaders are compiling. Otherwise, we just wait for nothing.
There is also a third method.
Because my question would be, okay, in this case, it dropped the character into the level, right? But as we saw in the action RPG example, you can also spawn it, right? So you basically just tell him, okay, this is the character that we want in the sequence, and that exists only in the sequence, not in the world.
Method, which I'll go over in a second, as we just introduced him into our sequencer, and so now we should also add some stuff to him, because right now he is static and is rigged and ready to go. Gives you an animations for the
so here is adding an animation. Which animation he added? He added this.
We'll go with, let's see how shot 80 looks in this sequence. So one thing you have to know is once we select our animation, or you keyframe anything inside of sequencer, it's all highly dependent on where your scrubber is. So always keep track of where this scrubber is located, as oftentimes when you slap a keyframe down, you might either overwrite another previous keyframe or wasn't. And so right now we'll scrub on
why it
the
disappears
animation to see where our and then we'll see that he's up here. And so, okay.
And because it's a jump of some kind, okay. That's why it disappeared, because it's kind of a jump. So he selected an animation, it probably is not
go to the animations. One easy way to go directly to the animations, also specifically, for that is go to hover over properties, go down to where it says animation, and then go to the magnifying glass, and it'll snap you directly to where Oni is standing, or to where the animation for Oni is. And for all of Oni's animation, they're all within show you.
I'm just skipping forward a bit, okay?
So
it's just explaining basic stuff that we know already.
But what we're going to do is we're going to go into our lights, and we want to replicate this to be a little bit more of a shot. So what we're going to do,
let me go quicker. Is that just adding elements to the track?
Ah,
okay, this is interesting though. He added the light. He added the light to the level, or he added the light here only.
We're going to actually have this be spawnable only within our sequencer. So once you click and drag it into your sequencer, you'll see this little lightning bolt icon right next to the light bulb. That is an indication that this asset, this object, is only going to be spawnable inside of sequencer. So if you ever close out of sequencer,
so that's the first answer to some of my questions, right? So like, you don't need to have all the items in the world and in the level already, but you can also spawn, right? Now our problem will be that like our characters, you know, are built at runtime. So if I have this guy, right? This guy has a specific dress. Oh. Something crashed pretty bad. I think it's probably because I deleted some plugins. Probably. Okay, let's go with the action RPG. I will test this later on. I think the action RPG is perfect anyway. It has everything we need, so it's not needed that we go with anything more complex than that. I think it was nice to use the new, but I think it's requiring plugins that maybe exist only in 5. I don't want to spend time. You know, going through it now. So this is the action RPG example, and he has a sequence at the beginning. If I go play, you will see the sequence. then the game starts. So let's try to replicate what this guy is doing. So let's create a completely new folder and call it sequencer my test, right? And let's create a new level that is my sequencer level. And wait, let me save only this. I don't want to save anything else. And like this guy did, let's add a plane. Let's make the plane a bit bigger. And okay, let's scale it 50. Let's put a light, whatever. Let's put maybe a directional light and right, and such. Okay, so that at least we see something. Okay, so and then we create like this guy did. Maybe let's do it from here. Let's do cinematic add level sequence, right? And then we save it inside the sequencer my test, and we call it new level sequence. I think it's fine, right? And yes, you see that is creating the new level sequence, but is also adding the actor to the level. So it basically did two things, right? With one click, which is nice. And now we open our new level sequence, and here we do the same. Now I would like, if possible, to have okay, let's do what he did. He took the point light and it drag and dropped it here, right? Yes, in fact we see our light component. Okay, let's make this light maybe red, so that so it's easy for us to recognize that is a different kind of light like this, right? And yes, so as soon as you drop it into the sequencer, you also see it in the world based on where you are on this thing, right? This is what we said. This is what we said. So, but here where we are at 0. Is this thing existing all the time? Is this thing existing all the time? Spawned, yes. Spawn, no. So if I say spawn, yes, it appears. If I say spawn no, it doesn't appear. But basically now this light is kind of permanent, right? It's kind of permanent. So I think I will probably have to add a visibility track, right? Like we do for the widgets, or no? Probably no, huh? Okay, well, let's go on with the tutorial and see what it's telling us. If any of you is knowledgeable in the sequencer, please, you can absolutely, interact and say whatever you think is needed.
When you first double click on the TF edit and opens up sequencer, oftentimes this will open up as a separate window. And
no, wait. We went back. No, it's here. Sorry, it's here.
Or if you don't have this specific shot open, this asset and or object will not be visible nor active in any way, shape, or form. It won't exist until you open up this sequencer specifically again.
Okay.
In that instance, each shot individually has its own lighting that gets made, and so
basically means that if I close this sequence, this light will disappear, right? Okay, I see. In fact, it disappeared. Okay, so it exists only up to the point where now, do I have the same properties? Yes, I have the same properties. So it is a light which is movable. I have all my stuff. I can make it static. I can change. So it's exactly the same thing, just it exists in the context of the sequencer. Okay.
This might be different for however you're creating your animations, as sometimes you don't want lighting to be specific per shot, or you do just want global lighting that is going to be what it is across all shots. And so now that we have our point light in here, we're going to click and drag him closer. You have it take because
Okay, it's just positioning the light,
now
so
at
we don't
8,
care
let's
about it at the
go
moment.
to
I'm just keeping it.
4, so it's a little bit darker.
The problem is that this light exists
will
all the time,
into-
right? It's always there. Maybe you can make it invisible.
Yeah, no, a little bit lighter for place
Okay, it's just changing the light. We don't care.
that I'm pretty sure everyone has caught on by now is that own plan 480 inside of our temp will effectively be in the correct spot and the location where he needs to be every single time. So there, much like in video games, there is animations that cycle and that are effectively universal seen. So in which case, each animation is therefore its own specific and unique animation.
Hello, joined. Hello, Shubabacabra. Hey, thank you for the follow and welcome. We are working on the. We are learning about the sequencer and trying to learn how to use it. We are starting from the basics, so and trying to see how it works. At the moment, I'm just trying to understand if I have my light, right? And I have because I see that if I do add the track, I have attach, audio, event, path, transform, gameplay queue, light component, actor hidden in game. Visibility. Okay. So we can, for example, we can say that the light exists right here, and then here it doesn't exist anymore. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Okay, good. Okay, that's nice. So yeah, there is a visibility property that is just making it appear or disappear now. Okay. Yeah, so it's not permanent, obviously. Hello, Il Tatati. Hello, welcome.
Shots. And so because of that, it's why Oni is all the way already up in the air, pre-jump, and then lands into what is now a ground that is no longer an actual ground, and he's just levitating. So as a means of fixing that, we're just going to raise our
good choice.
Ground.
Good choice to raise the ground.
To match his feet. So that ground.
Okay, who cares about that?
So there's many ways to do it. How we're going to go about it is we're going to push the camera button where it says create a new camera. We're going to click on that. So this here that I just selected, that's inside of our sequencer, that is our camera cut. And that is also referencing the current camera that gets spawned in that then sees for the duration of these frames. So for however long this whole animation or for this whole shot.
Okay, let's try to do that. So what it did, it just clicked on camera. I think it didn't have anything specific selected, it just clicked here. Then it's creating a new camera and set it as the current camera cut. Okay. I think it's taking my current position. Wait a second. Let me delete it. So if I go, I don't know, like this, and I do, wait. I think I deleted something that is not the full thing. Okay, if I go here and I do add camera, yes. Okay, so it's using the current position and current view. So now we will have a camera there, right here. And okay, fine. Okay, fine. Maybe let's add something. Otherwise, it's too empty and is not really. But I would like to add it in the same way. So just adding to the sequencer without adding it to the level. So in theory, I don't want to have anything in the level. It needs to be something that is created from scratch, right? So ABB player. There is an animation blueprint. BP player character. Maybe that's a bit too much. Let's go with an enemy. There is a boss. Spider boss. Okay. Okay, this guy. But I don't want to spawn it there. Yeah, the point is I don't want to spawn it there. I want this guy in our sequencer, right? So that when if I close this, it will disappear, right? So I want to have it only in here. Sitting on whatever it should be sitting, probably like this. Seeing the Z fighting seems to be the right place. And so yes, our light is appearing and disappearing, right? The only thing that I don't understand too much is how do I make it appear later? Because if I say spawn visibility, I say no, and then I want to say yes after this time. Okay, when I click on this, it's automatically creating another keyframe. Okay, so basically the light will appear, you know, here. Fine. Let me just move it up a bit because the Z fighting is super annoying. Okay. Okay, good. So so this will be the camera cut. Now if I move my camera and then I click again on camera cut, do I go there? No. Probably I need to do something, huh? To actually show it. Unlock viewport from camera cut. But it doesn't look like the one that I selected before. Is it keeping the last position or what? Probably. In fact, it was the camera object. Okay. Okay, so clicking on this, when you click on that, you are detaching from the camera. This is the camera, right? So you detach from the camera and you are not moving it anymore. If you click here, you now you become the camera, and you can. Oh, I cannot move it though. Cannot move it anymore. Okay, I was thinking I could, but it seems I cannot. So when I'm locked into that, I cannot move it anymore. So I can only move it like this. Okay. It seems it was working before, but fine. Probably not. Okay. Whatever. I mean, it's not very relevant now. So it's just to say that we have a way to lock and unlock into the camera. And now, one thing that the guy did that we didn't do is that for our creature, right, we may want an animation. So, exactly. So we have our idle animation. Doesn't look like an idle animation, but fine. Whatever animation is, it is fine. Can I extend it? No, because it's as long as that. I think I can probably say if it's looping or not. Transform, rotation. Hello, Zombie Wind, how are you? You can also add things to tracks and turn and track off and on the timeline from multiple angles. Okay. Cut is the view add to the final cut of tracks, then you put the cut together. Yeah, I understood that you have a master sequence, right? A master sequence that then is putting together all the sequences. You are saying that it's kind of the same thing here, like you have multiple camera cuts inside the same level. I don't know. This we will find out. I think this guy will tell us.
Is going to be this camera cut is going to basically start from our start all the way to our end. We can click and drag at the end of this block and then stretch it beyond where it needs to go, if just in case you ever need to have more frames to be viewed, as that is very important.
I mean, in the camera cut? Yes, in the camera cut. So I can do this. Okay. Can extend it as I want. I don't know why the preview is showing this and here is not showing that, even if in theory is present in both. But anyway, who cares?
Is if we go beyond this, if you try to render anything out, there will be nothing to see, as there is no camera to and any. We're going to scroll down and we're going to see our cinematic camera actor. After we clicked our button, as it made the camera, and then it made our camera cut, and then it combined the two together, so that way this camera cut is referencing this cinematic actor, so that way we're seeing the exact same thing. And right now, the other thing it did is it locked us to this camera. What I mean by saying by that is the camera icon, both in camera cuts and the cinematic actor, when pressed, snaps your editor viewport to what the camera is seeing.
And the only thing that I don't understand what is the difference between these two. But here I can move. Because one is the father of the other. So on this one, when I lock, I can actually move. So I need to use this cinematic whatever. And if I unlock, then I will see the camera in the world, which is this one, right? But I cannot do the same with the one above. At least it looks that I'm trying to move, I cannot move. Probably because there is a child of the camera actor. Okay, fine.
So you now effectively become that camera. So when you select this button, you snap out of that camera. When you push it again, you snap into it. And then for camera cuts, it's effectively the exact same thing. You just snap in and out of it, so that way you can always see what the camera cutscene or your short is seeing. So that way you know what is
okay, fine.
How it's looking. And so what were our focus settings for our cinematic camera actor? We're gonna stretch this portion out.
Yeah, we don't care about the settings on the camera. We don't set the position of the. I'm just keeping this because we don't. The only thing it's doing here is adding a path, which may be interesting.
Again, a little bit forward until he lands, and then we're gonna adjust the camera again. There we go. Just so we follow it all. We follow Oni from the air.
It's doing transform. So what it's doing is saying my. So let's try to do it. Okay. So we snap to the father. We go far away, right? We go far away. We keyframe the transform, right? At the beginning. Then we go forward until here. We move our camera to look like this. I don't know why he's doing it manually, by the way. And we keyframe it again, right? Now, if I unlock and I move forward and backward, we should see the camera moving, but I don't for some reason. I was expecting. Yes, it is. You see? You see the camera moving along that line, which is the one that I did manually, right? Okay, perfect. And if I lock, then I will see what is the actual movement, right? So that we zoom on the creature. I don't know why the guy here in the example is doing this manually. I mean, it's so much easier to do it with lock on instead of positioning it manually.
Down to the bottom. And then once he stands back up into his pose, we're also then gonna grab our camera.
I don't know why he's doing it like this. It's much less efficient.
Center focus and keyframe him there. So that way now, when
So
we
my
go to
suggestion will be
0, 0,
lock
to
and
the beginning
move
of our
and
frame,
keyframe.
we're gonna snap into our camera cut. We're gonna see the outline of Oni. We're gonna deselect our camera so that way we don't have the annoying. Oh well, it's not annoying, but we don't have the extra. Bam. There we go.
Here we go.
What we can touch upon now is rendering.
I think rendering, I
For
don't care at all. I think I will skip it completely because it's just saving to a file this thing, but we don't do it for saving
Rendering
files.
per shot, where you have to open the sequencer, click the render button, then click the legacy rendering, and then it renders out, and then you have to rinse and repeat for all of the other shots. So this is a great tool if you have a lot of shots that need
To be rendered. Okay, so there is a tool to basically
I'll then just
render
exit out
them
of it.
all together.
But this is once
Okay, we don't care about this.
ENV, and we're gonna go to temple, and we're gonna
Wait.
Now that we have a good grasp on what we've gone into here, what we're going to do is we're gonna go into one of the shots that we've actually created inside of Slay as well. Slay content Slay, ENV, and we're gonna go to temple, and we're gonna double.
Yeah, this is the one that we cannot open,
We're not gonna save this,
unfortunately,
as we've
but
already
it's okay.
wanted out of this level, so we're not gonna hit.
Now that we have our level open again, we can go back to our sequences.
Wow, the volume disappeared.
Sequences, go to TF, open up TF edit. And so now what we're gonna go into is talk a little bit about the master sequencer. And so the master sequencer is pretty much a sequencer that then just becomes a holder for every.
Yeah, I understand it's a kind of a container of all the other
sequencer that you
cuts,
feel
right?
is
All
a
the
good
other
shot. So in
sequences.
this case, as you can kind of see out here outlined, is TF10, TF20, 30, 40, 50, so on and so forth. All the way
Should it
to
be in the
the
same
very
level
end.
or not?
And so that is designed as a means to be able to go into each shot individually without having to go into your sequences and go through all the folder structures that you've created and then work that way. And so what we've done here in Slay is on the left hand side, there's a thing called shots, which are your sequencers. And so in order to bring that in is you click on track and then shot track. As it's currently grayed out, that's because we're currently using it. And so because of that, it's not going to show up. But when you're doing this for the first time, that won't generate that. And so one thing that I skipped over was the cinematics add master sequence. What this does is it auto populates. Here, let me click on it for you. Add master sequencer. And so this does quite a bit of the work for you. And depending on your production style, you might use this or you might have to do it manually. And again, it is highly dependent on how
Okay.
you're
I mean, this is
working,
interesting, but not
your
super
preference is.
interesting. I think
And-
that
And so
it's
for
fine. We know we
Spear,
can
that's
group.
where- as
My only
well,
question
because
would be if I
what
can
time,
group
5 seconds,
shots from different levels, but
with your shot directory, it'll give you shot pref and track camera manual and vary per shot. We start and bait 110. And so we're just gonna double click on that one inside of here. So let me just go back to where you can find it.
What it's
we're
doing
gonna
now?
Scrub all the way to frame 0895. And then if you want, you can hit control and then you can zoom in or scroll up with the middle mouse wheel or scroll back with the middle mouse wheel.
That's
and
nice.
that can help you manually adjust this bar at the very bottom here. So we're going to go to shot TF0.
I think it's just trying to do a time change or
Double
something.
click that open. And so once we do, we can see that there's already quite a bit of stuff. There's a camera here that we didn't have in our test sequence that we have in here. And there's also these things called lighting effects, and they're also called TF 110 and TF 110 effects. And also characters and other assets that have shot.
Okay, let's keep a
Camera
bit.
characters
I
effect,
understand.
you click _01_ camera. And then immediately under this bar is that camera. And so oftentimes what you can do is you can have more than one camera in one shot, but that is just up to you and your preference. As once you do have more than one camera in that shot, you just need to make sure that there is a camera cut here as well that you can then switch between. So you will effectively have two of these guys in here that you can then cut.
You can have multiple levels. Okay.
So it's not necessarily, you're not overwriting at a certain point. This camera shot, you're creating effectively a new one as here, as I wanted to show you. So
okay, let's keep a bit. It's
and then
fine.
we're gonna left click.
It's just tinkering with the camera
potentially
length
camera
and
that you might want to switch to. This is where you're gonna want to do it. You're gonna want to right click on one of these two camera cuts, go to your properties, go to camera binding ID, and look for the other camera that you have in this sequencer. This is also listing out a bunch of other shots, and that's honestly what's going to get a little bit too complicated, so we're not going to even touch that. But what you should be looking for is everything that is located within this sequencer in it.
okay. Fine. So it's placing different cameras.
This works really well if you have more than one camera cut, and also helps you debug if at any point when you're rendering, all of a sudden you're not seeing anything. This will let you know if there is even a camera. I'm slow because inside of here we click and dragged our Oni into the sequencer, went into the animations and added this animation into sequencer. And because of that, it gave us this bar with all of his animation keys that we can then scrub through to make sure that he is working accordingly, that all of his movements are what the animators have created and what we had through mocap, all that stuff. And this is a very easy way of seeing, very quickly in your animation, whether or not
hey, thank you for the follow.
Anything needs to be adjusted or fixed.
And welcome to the stream.
And also allowing you to time out your shot as well, to where if maybe Oni has a little bit too much animations, you can end the sequencer sooner.
Okay, let's keep that. Using sub sequences. Yeah, I mean,
when it comes, great to start splitting up your tracks or your sequences. How the levels are split up between characters, geo, lighting, terrain, and then terrain for the first shot. You can pretty much do the same thing for your sequences. Where here, because we were gonna have, someone working with animation to make sure that, that Oni was coming in just right. And we were also going to have someone light to Oni at the same time. We wanted to make sure that both were not stepping on each other's feet. And the best way to have that is to effectively implement subsequences. And so let me show you what I mean by that. And so when you hit the magnifying glass for this shot, it'll snap you directly to where it is. And so this is perfect, as from here you can see that right here are our other sequences. And so we'll snap back in, we'll go back into our sequencer and we'll double click on TF lighting 10. And on the left hand side, you can automatically see that there's already these lights being adjusted. There's some modifications being done to Oni's for his eyes, all that stuff. And a lot more assets being turned.
Only for his eyes? How did he do that? Feel Oni mouth.
All that stuff.
Is a light, huh?
A lot more assets.
So probably they added some lights.
As their visibility is being turned off, so that way more light can stream in into this. Because as you can see, the more light background. Once
I don't understand how to do these sub-sequences though. I mean, you have them already in the...
Any effects going. Now for this shot, there is no effects, but there are effects on other shots, and we wanted to make sure that there was at least sub-sequences for both of those to make sure that multiple people were able to work with.
Yeah, the way explained it confused me a lot, because it just has everything already done in the level. It's not adding the sub-sequence manually, so I don't understand what it's doing. But what he's saying is that there should be a way I don't see it though. Sub-scene tracks. Add new tracks that can contain other sequences. Ah, okay, here it is. So this, I think that's the click that was missing. Okay, so here I can take any other sequence that already exists. And by the way, this sequence is a sequence that is coming from a completely different level, right? It's coming from a completely different level. So what the hell is gonna happen? Nothing. Because my camera is not positioned, I guess, the way yes. In fact, yeah. So so this means that my subsequence needs to have a new camera though, or not? Cine actor camera 2. Cine actor camera 2. I was expecting this to be... No? I mean, if I lock it, I go here, right? If I lock it, I go here, which is correct. But then why doesn't it switch to the... Why doesn't switch to the other thingy? Probably because I need to tell him that my camera is valid from a certain point on. How do I tell him that my camera... Maybe I had to... Because if I create a new camera, is creating a new camera actor, right? He's not creating a new... which may be good for me. The only problem is that I would like to use that camera. I would like to use for this part... Oops. For this part, one camera, and for this part, another camera. Or anyway, all the camera should move, but the best would be that is actually a completely separate camera. Probably in this case, it's better to use the master. Eh? It's better to use the master. Yes, but it can attach the first camera also. I mean, I attach it to the camera cut. I mean, I can do this, but I don't understand what it's gonna do. Like here, on this camera, I have... Can I rename it, by the way? I hope so. So this would be like monsters, right? Well, or yeah. And this will be like a spider. Right, so now... You know, it doesn't transition. Maybe because I'm locked, but even unlocked, it doesn't... Actually, there is a camera here, you see? There is a camera here. So this points to this, and this points to that. Okay, so actually... So actually it is doing the thing, but it's not switching the camera, right? Probably because I can only lock into one. add the camera to the sub scene. How do I add the camera to the sub scene? There's no option for that. I can add a camera. I mean, I can bind it, right? New binding monsters. But I don't understand what this is doing. So when I do that, nothing happens basically. Camera component. It's not very intuitive, I have to say. There's this split between camera cuts and when I do new binding, I don't understand what is happening, right? I click on new bindings, but basically nothing happens. It created something here. Wait, new binding. Wait. Is creating something in the timeline, huh? Is creating something in the time. Let me Control Z 1 second. So if I... Yeah, this is what happened when I created this monster thingy, right? Because I came here and I said bind to monsters from here up. Yes, and you see that it's actually creating the binding to monsters. But I think the question is, how do I see the camera? I mean, how do I see the end result? Because if I click on play, nothing happens unless I am... Maybe I have to do this. Okay. You have to be bound to the camera cuts, because the camera cuts actually has two bindings. Oh, this is so weird. But okay. So the actual camera is this, right? Is this icon. So there is the spider camera, there is a monster camera. Then what I say with the camera cuts is how I'm gonna move between cameras, right? That is how I'm gonna move between cameras. So camera cuts, I don't think it contains the actual movement of the camera. It's just the switch between the different cameras. And to see the result, I have to lock into this one. And so now... Right? Now I see it. No, I have no idea what happens if I shorten it, right? Yeah, if you shorten the camera cut, it's only the position of the camera in the world. I mean, it's only not the position. It's only the ownership of the camera. Which camera you're gonna use? Which camera you're gonna use? So because instead you see I shortened this, but my animation has a certain length down here, and so it's not changing the length of the animation. It's just changing the time that I'm staying on that camera, right? But considering then my NPC, I mean, my monster thing is, I mean, this thing is happening later. Now we don't see it, right? Now we don't see it. So I can just move it there, and now in theory we see it. Yeah. I understand. I think I understand. I think I understand. Okay. So if okay. Hello, Krypton. Hi. Thank you for the subscription on YouTube. Okay, perfect. Okay, and I understand. So camera cuts is which camera you are using. While this thing the Cine camera actor is the actual camera, and he has position and animation and whatever. If you want to see the result, I lock on this one and I play. I see what this camera is doing. Yes, in fact, you see that if I lock on this one, when the sequencer goes forward after this cut is finished, I don't see anything anymore. I mean, I still stay here, right? Because I'm locked on this camera. If I lock on this one, then I see it. Okay, I think it's clear to me. It's clear. I don't know if it's clear to you as well, but I think it's clear.
Without being hindered, as when you work inside of this in a production scales with a form of source control. Modification to him for this shot, as we kind of want to let's just say adjust his mask over here. If you click on Oni and then you go to his details and then you let's make a click on his skeletal component, click on track, and now remember what element the mask was. It was element 3. Click on element 3. Perfect. So let me explain the steps we just took. What we needed to do is in order to make the adjustments to Oni's mask, the information case, the other selections, and then from the pen flow that we had, we didn't need too much for him, as a lot of it was being handled in textures. We just wanted to make sure that there was.
I want to see if he's changing the texture or he's just changing the.
But this might be different in your
Come on, go forward.
6. And so again, we don't want to make the adjustment in the actual material itself, as that will then propagate to all the other shots, and we don't want that. We just want it for this specific shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this inside of sequencer. We're just going to crank this up to 100. Yeah, that looks fine. Yep. There we go. Approved. Done. And so,
but he doesn't really change the texture though, so it's just doing a, which we may need we may need, you know, to do a bit more than that, because I understand it, but like why the light is so stupid, by the way? Because the light is coming from the back, huh? Anyway. Now, what I'm thinking is, I have this monster, right? I have this monster, and this monster has specific textures and whatever. And what the guy said is that if I change it here, I'm basically changing it for every other scene, right? But so basically, if I need a monster with a specific skin, I need to create him before. That's not very good though, huh? That's not very good. So if I have 2 spiders, right? And I want one spider to use a different skin. And I change the skin, right? I change the skin now. It looks like that. Okay, anyway, I change. You see, the skin is different. Look at the back, right? It's different, right? So the point is, I changed it to this guy, and I didn't change it to that guy. But now I did a duplicate. I think I duplicated this guy in the world, unfortunately. Yeah, which is not what I wanted to do, huh? It's not what I wanted to do. So no, I wanted to duplicate this guy, so I have to duplicate this track, I guess. Yes. So if I do, okay, so now it's duplicated only in the spider boss. So spider boss 1, spider boss 2, right? So now if I want one spider boss to have a different texture, can I do it or not? Can I do it? I think I can. I mean, I assume I can. So if I go here and I change it to this, yes, this one is. Now I don't know why they animate separately. It's a bit weird, but why they don't both animate? Ah, yes, they do. They do. They both animate. Yes, okay. And they have different textures. Okay. I think what the guy is saying is that it's not that you cannot change the material, but if you change the material, that object, you know, will be changed for whatever other shots you need to do in the same place. But obviously, you can duplicate the object, right? You could destroy this guy. You could destroy. I mean, this guy can completely disappear. Another one can be. By the way, there is something a bit weird because I duplicated the guy and you see that the did I duplicate the mesh on there? No, I don't understand what is going on. I moved only the mesh. I moved only the mesh. Yeah, my bad. I think I clicked on the mesh when I moved it. Yeah. Fine. Forget about that. Okay. Okay, so we can change the texture. Yeah, so this guy, so if you want to have this spider changes textures in the animation, we could, you know, have this model exist up to a certain point in time, then become invisible, and the other guy become visible. Now, it's not the same as changing the texture, because actually the animation will reset, but if you change it on Spider 1 in Cut 1, it will change Spider in Cut 2 also. Spider 1 in Cut 2 also. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I understand it's object based. It's not cut based, right? It's not based on the cut. The material is not associated to the cut. The material is associated to the object I put there. But I could have, you know, as I said, I can have the spider replaced to one spider being a replacement of the other. So, but okay. I still have the big issue though that all our characters are created on the fly, right? Everything is created on the fly at runtime for me. So I don't understand how. I don't understand, right? I don't understand at all how this may work, right? Because holy shit! What happened? What happened? I'm in this level now. Holy moly! I can fight! Look at that! The game is working anyway. The game is working anyway. Even if I'm in completely different levels. Interesting. Okay. I have no idea why a third spider appeared, by the way. Why a third spider appeared? I mean, I don't have a third spider. Ah, yes, I do. No, I don't. I only have 2 spiders. So why in the sequence? I think this play is playing a bit of the other sequence and a bit of this sequence. But you see that these 2 spiders actually exist in the world. Why these 2 spiders exist in the world? Why? I mean, when I close the sequence, they don't exist, right? They don't exist. They exist only if I open my test thingy. So why there are 3 and why 2 remain in the level? I have no idea, but probably it's because this game is doing something in initialization. Okay, so maybe it's initializing something. I mean, there is a template of the action RPG, and so maybe it's doing something. So, but lol, yeah, wow, yeah, is actually doing, yeah, because the monster, I think, is programmed in a way that each monster actually is self-standing. I don't know what to say, but is like program that, like, the program knows what he has to do, right? So okay. Well. Okay, we learned a bit about that. Now, yeah, my problem will be, I think we have to do this, but we have to start from a completely clean project, right? I think I need to start from a completely clean project. And unfortunately, we will do it with cubes and cones, but I think it's pretty much what we need to do. Because at the moment, this play, I think, is doing something more than what I... more than what I wanted to do. Let me just do something else. Let me try to create a completely empty level and put the plane, make the plane 100, put the directional light, make it 2, and play. In theory, no. I mean, in theory, yeah. So all that mass is really generated by my sequence, huh? All that mass is generated by my sequence, because you see that in this fully clean level, nothing is happening, right? Nothing is happening. So there is no spawning of anything. Yeah, but it's possible that those monsters have a trigger or something. But it's strange. I was expecting the monster not to be there, right? By the way, now there are only 2. And now they are not spawning anymore. GG! Okay. Unreal editor. Real editor. So the editor just went crazy for a second? Yeah, because what it's doing now, after I reload the level, is exactly what I was expecting. That I see 2 spiders and not 3. Right? And these spiders are not into the level when the game starts. Right? As expected. As expected. So why I was doing it differently before, I have no idea, but I think it's a matter of reloading stuff, and I think it's still a bit bugged. That bothers me a bit, but okay. But okay, they changed this a lot in EU5. I don't know. And this is the tutorial that is linked from EU5, right? If you go to the documentation, I was here in the documentation, right? And it is the technical course for Unreal Engine, and it's still linking this. It's still linking this part. And actually, this part, as you can see from the UI, is using Unreal Engine 4. This was done like 8 months ago. Well, let's say it was published 8 months ago, so probably. But I don't know. I mean, okay. I mean, I hope I don't have to relearn everything in 5, right? Completely different. But yeah. Okay, but I think I understand that. I understand I can change the texture of a monster, but I need a... Yeah, because I'm a bit limited, you know, I'm a bit limited in what I can do inside of this. I'm quite limited. Like this spider. Imagine that this spider has different weapons, right? Or a different setup. Let's say that this spider is a modular character, right? And he has different clothes or different whatever based on his equipment and such, right? So how do I decide that in a sequence I want a spider with equipment A or equipment B, right? There is no way from here. There is no way from here. So I already need to have it in the blueprint, but I don't know. This is a bit hard for me to think about. Like in my game starts, you create a character, your character... Hello, Uncle Guaro, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. If you have any questions, please just ask. We are learning a bit about the sequencer and how we can use it in our game. Okay, let's go on with the tutorial anyway. Maybe he's telling us more. Well, it's pretty much at the end, so probably he's not gonna tell us more than this. But
let's just say 2.5, and then just for this shot, you can modify his mask accordingly to match all the available.
Okay, it's changing the color. Fine.
Letting me walk you through what we've learned in Slime, get some ideas, find more.
GG. GG. Okay, this is finished. Okay, so this was the one that they asked us to look at. We looked at it. I think we learned a bit. Nice. Additional information on sequencer, cinematic, and sequencer tags and groups. Okay. Cinematics and sequencer. Starting out, sequencer basics. Yeah, with sequencer basics, I think at this point we did it, no? I think at this point we kind of done this. Create a camera animation, I think we know how to do it. Apply animation to a character, we know it because we did animate a light, I think we know it. Particle, we didn't try, but I would say it's probably the same as dropping a particle, activating it. Let me just see apply animation to a character if he's doing something more than we already know. Okay, this part we know now. Yes, plus animation. Yeah, this is exactly what we did. Yeah. So this part we know now. We know this thing. We know this thing. This is what I needed, huh? This is what I needed, boys. This is what I needed. When creating your cinematic sequence, you may want to blend existing gameplay animation with animation contained inside your level sequence. For example, a playable character walks up to a door during gameplay. You want a sequence to animate the character to open the door, or the player is controlling the character in the third person shoot. Exactly. Please tell me how to do it. Please. By using a combination of sequencer blueprint and animation blueprint, and you can do whatever you want. In this example, we take whatever gameplay pose the character is when he's entering the trigger volume and blind it with the dead animation inside the sequencer. Very nice. This is what I need. I hope is what I need. I don't know. This guy's not speaking. There is no audio. Yeah, my only question is, how do you get the character? Because if you create a new one, that's cheating. So I think they create a new one. Fuck. If they create a new one, is GG. It's not what I need. It's not what I need, huh? Wait. Auto possess. I know. That's okay. That's okay. Okay. Right click on the animation, the keyframe window under property. When you change or finish it, keep state. For the death. Okay. Who cares? What? I don't know what it's doing here. What is it doing? It's just creating the death animation? Yeah, it's just creating the crouch possibility and whatever, but it's completely unrelated from the cinematic sequence. Completely unrelated. Okay, probably now. Using cinematic exposed variables. Here we add the float variable default slot in which is fitted in the type animation blueprint the money when the blended gameplay pose our slot animation. We also trigger a box level. We use the next step. Yeah, but this guy is cheating. He's cheating. This is not what I need. I need my character. I don't need a new character. I don't need a new character. I need my character, the one that is already in the game. Return to every person your sequence. This is just the trigger box. This is the creation of the trigger box. Oh fuck, it's finished. So I missed the point where he's blend by the. Wait. Where is adding the character? It's never adding the character. GG. He's never adding the character. Yeah. In your level. Bro. If you do like this, it's cheating. So I need to pass. Okay, let's go on. Maybe there are other. I mean, this one I understand, but You understand what he's doing, right? So he has a character in the game. The character walks to a trigger, and as soon as the trigger triggers, they are just blending the right point, you know, where he is, just to ensure that he's blending with the right frame of the current animation. But they are creating a new character. There is a new character. It's not the one that is in the level, right? And this means that if the character is in the level, has a bow on his back, a sword in his hand, an helmet in his head, and he has a different texture for his face, he will not be that guy. The guy that is in the sequence is not him, is the default one. And it is a big issue. It is a big issue. Well, let's see, maybe there is a way to duplicate actors, I don't know. The material element switcher is a sequencer track you can use to animate materials on an actor. It's able to change the material. So you can change materials. Okay. Material element. But didn't we say that it was not possible? Spider, spider, spider. Spider, spider, spider. I don't understand. What is that? What is that? Skeletal mesh. I have to go to skeletal mesh. I don't have skeletal mesh. I have static. I have a static mesh. Static mesh. Material. Okay. Material element switcher. Okay. I mean, it's still. What? What is the name of the... It was named like Grand something. NPC spot. Sorry, so I'm changing it on the camera. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm changing it on the camera, boys. That is the camera thingy. I'm changing the camera. I'm changing the camera. Yeah, you have to name these things properly, otherwise you're going to confuse yourself so much. Yeah, this is why static mesh. I'm changing the static mesh of the camera. So I put the you see, I put the texture on the camera. I put the texture on the camera object. Okay, but yes, but it works. Okay, so we tested it on the camera object, but yeah, this should be called camera spider, and this should be called camera monsters. Otherwise, it's super confusing, right? While this one is NPC. So on this NPC, if I do track, probably now I have my skeletal mesh somewhere. Probably this. And here probably I have my material switcher. And probably now in the material switcher I can say this. Yes, and he's changing. Okay. And he's changing. Okay. So I can say it's like this here. And what? And it's like this there. Yes, it's switching. Okay, it's switching. Okay, you can switch material. I mean, switching materials is already... You have to keyframe it. Yes, yes. So switching materials is fine, but it's not what I need. It's not what I need. What I need is to use my character. Everything is created dynamically in our game. So when I click on play, there are again 3 spiders. There are again 3 spiders, and 2 are in the game now. Take this! You exist in another dimension. You should not be in this dimension. You have to die. You are coming from a sequencer. You cannot be here. You don't exist. You don't exist. Die. Exactly. I don't know. It seems that when you save things and reload the level, then everything works. When you exactly see, now there are only 2 and they don't, they die though. You see that particle is when the monster dies. That is so basically the destructor, right? The destructor or whatever, the destructor of that monster is actually getting executed in the sequencer, which is super stupid. It should never happen. So it's like saying that if I put one of my characters in the sequencer and they die, they will be teleported to the Death Realms or something, right? So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, anyway, we can change material. Fine. What is this cloth? So weird. Fine. Rendering cinematics, 0 interest into this. At least for now. Calling events through the sequencer. When playing cinematic, there may be instances where you want to trigger an event and initiate some scripted functionality. Perhaps at a certain point in your cinematic, you want a door to open. Or have a particle effect spawn. You cannot events. What? I mean, you mean in the real world or where? You mean in the real world? Or still in the sequence? Add a custom event. Like game over. Yeah, okay. Like for example, you need at the end of the sequence for the game to actually start, right? And this is what also is doing. What are we doing when we press play? The sequence goes, and then at the end of the sequence, the game starts. Yeah, I understand that. So you create your thingy, and then you do track event. Track event. Quick bind, simulate, set all body, simulate physics. What? Add a second event track, disable movement. Add a third track, kill player, set. Okay, it's not super clear to me what he's doing here, but probably he's doing 3 things while we only need 1. But anyway, is basically able to connect from any event property. Double click the magnifying glass icon, open the sequence director blueprint. From any keys event properties, double click the magnifying glass. What? So probably if you add a key to an event track, it does that and allows you to select the actual event. Okay, I think I understand somehow. I mean, not fully, but I think yes, you have to do track event, right? What the? Okay, my editor went crazy just now. But okay, I think okay, we can call, let's just say that we can call a blueprint event from our track, right? Which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. Now using take recorder. Take recorder enables iteration of recording performance, including review and previous. You can easily record animation from motion capture linked to character in the level, as well as actual live data for future playback, but recording takes additional 10 seconds. Okay. So it's a way to... So this thing is probably motion capture and is recording this. Wow. I see. That's very useful, I guess. That's very useful. I mean, not to us, but in general, I guess is interesting. So it's creating a sequence based on what you recorded in the scene. But I don't understand if it's taking what is recorded. I mean, what? Yeah, my editor is not working anymore. I need to relaunch it. Sometimes, I mean, it's not that it's not working, but all the pop-up windows are not popping up anymore. I don't know, sometimes it happens. So if you are playing PS and you just add a trigger box to the level, you should play the animation with the character you're using. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And our character is dynamically generated. So that's the problem. I mean, I guess it's the problem that everyone has. It's not just me. I mean, it's everyone in the world has that problem, right? Because this example is just starting from scratch, right? I mean, there is nothing in the level. I mean, his character is not customizable, right? Well, actually, it's not really true, though. Wait a second. Wait a second. Because I think that the character can change weapon at least. Does the character have the same weapon in the animated sequence? I cannot see it. Fuck. But probably the answer is yes. Probably the answer is yes. Because my character may have another weapon in that moment, right? So let me see if they do something like that. Intro warrior. Where is he? Where is he? What? I don't see him. He's walking somewhere. What the? I think it's here anyway. The starting position is here. So it's probably not... It's probably not this sequence, huh? Exactly. Ah, he has a sword. Hmm. 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 Interesting. Interesting, the fact he has a sword. Character warrior. There is an attach. I don't know if this attach is attaching the weapon. There is an attach node. Yes, a sword. Great blade. Thank you. Okay. So they are creating. Yeah, they create freaking anything. But I mean, obviously, if I have to recreate everything manually in the sequence, okay. But my problem is that this character will have the sword, another character will have an axe, and I need to use whatever the character has. You know, I cannot create a sequence for every possible combination, because certain character have a beard, other don't. Some have hair, some have purple hair, some have boots and a specific boot, you know? So everything is dynamic, and everything is dynamic. So I think probably the point is that in my character constructor, I should have a way to regenerate. But it's not the way it works for me, because I'm not regenerate. I mean, I don't have a constructor of my character that is putting the weapons on him, right? And in fact, also in their case, it's not like this, because you see that they had to add a new item. They had to add a new item, and they probably attached it somewhere, somehow. I don't know how, but I don't know what is this attach thingy. Ah, yes, SK warrior and socket, you say? Yeah, exactly. They are attaching it there. If I say left socket, I don't know, assuming it exists. No, it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't, and so it goes to the ground. But it's still proving the point, right? That basically this object is, you know, generated. Yeah. This object is really added here in the sequence, and is just attached to a socket manually. So that is really not good. I mean, it's not what we need. It's not what we need. Okay, take recorder. I just want to understand where is that take recorder. Just to. Take recorder. Doesn't tell you how to launch it, but I think it's probably here. Start recording into the current scene. Yeah, but I don't want to do it here because I will destroy it. So I think I will not save any of this. But in my sequence, I think I can do it. So I can go like here. No, at the end of our sequence, and say bling bling, and say record. Are you sure you want to start recording? Yes, I'm sure. Wait, but I don't have the right level loaded. How is it possible? I'm using another I have this sequence open, but I have a completely different level open. And if I do record, what happens? I don't know. I recorded over. GG. I don't know, something happened. But anyway, there is not. I think it's interesting. The concept is interesting. The fact I can do some recording, but I think that is not what we need at the moment. Actor rebinding in blueprints. Wait a second. Maybe this one? When creating cinematic for gameplay purposes, there might be times where you want to animate an object in the sequence that is dynamic. This is what we needed. It's dynamically spawned at runtime. For example, you can create and animate an object that moves along a path with sequencer, but that object is something which can be defined by the player that is spawned during gameplay. Yes, yes, yes. With the help of Blueprint Visual Scraping, you can expose binding identifiers from a level sequence using a get sequence bindings node and override any of those bindings with your own set. What? In this example, we animate and move an empty actor along a path, allowing the player to change the object to a different effect with the... No. I mean, wait, maybe yes. I don't know. It seems no. This phrase seems is not what we need, but I don't know. From the place actor panel, click on base dive. Drag an actor. Okay. So this actor exists in the level before, right? We will animate this empty actor inside the sequencer and override the sequencer bind to change the actor to a different particle effect. Okay. Select the empty actor in the level, then add the empty actor. What? Click the... No, I don't understand. Add a keyframe to the transform track to initialize the empty actor location in the current level. Scrap the timeline at 17. Move the empty actor up the level and a keyframe. Okay. It's doing stuff that we don't need, but okay. Just setting up. Right click on the copy. Okay. Configure. Okay. Enable auto upload. Okay. From the main toolbar, click okay. Added to spawn actor from perfect. Yes, this actor is spawned. This actor is spawned dynamically when you press F. Yes. Right click on the spawn actor blueprint. Yes. Promote to variable. Promote to variable. So you need it as a variable in the blueprint, huh? You need it as a variable in the blueprint. I have it. I think. Okay, I think I can have it. So promote the return value of the spawn actor blueprint after the spark to spark BP. Other reference to level sequence that what? New add new level sequence. Add bindings. Okay. Create another add binding node and connect each as shown below. yes, 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 yes. Fantastic, fantastic. This is what we need. This is what we need. This is what we need. So it's passing an actor that is generated dynamically in the level, and it's passing it as a binding in our. Now I hope then you can use it as a normal actor. But right click and use the get sequence binding node. So, yeah, the only problem is how does it know then which animations it can play, right? Because the problem is that, okay, now you have your actor, fine, but you have no idea of the animations that you can actually apply in the sequencer to this actor, because this is just a generic actor. So how can you... When we play in the editor and press the F key, our empty actor is replaced by our spawned fire or sparked effect, and continue to use the animation we apply to the empty. Exactly. Yeah. And to use the animation we applied. To use the animation. Because the animation is going up and down. Because the animation is going up and down. I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see. Okay, it's very close. It's very, 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 very close to what we need. It's very, very close because it's actually able to pass a spawned actor into the blueprint. The only problem is, wait, going back, this actor binding. Where is this actor binding? In the actor transformer. But if I have to play an animation, you know what? I think we will go. Okay, I think I have a plan. I think it's possible. I think it's possible. So we have our world. We have the sequencer, and we have our world again, right? And so what we do, we spawn our guy here, and then we say, and then we pass this as a binding or whatever to the sequencer. Yeah, but then it's a bit pointless though. No, because what I'm thinking is, and then I can call an event, right? Which is what we have learned before, right? I can have an event track, and the event track can say greet animation, right? Can say greet animation. So can call a blueprint. Greet animation, right? But yes, it can. But now I don't know. I need to test this. I don't understand exactly what I'm saying. I mean, I think I have an idea. I think there's those two pieces. You know, the calling events. This one, calling events, and the actor rebinding. I think it's kind of what I need, but the problem is that it's a lot more complex than this, right? But I think we may have a way. And there are still few things to look at. You know what is the problem now? The problem is that we finished our time. Holy moly. We finished our time. It's already way past the time I have to go, so I'm gonna go. Tomorrow evening I don't know if I will be here or not, but probably not because it's Friday. And Friday usually I am role-playing tabletop. But let's see. Maybe the people are not available, and so I will be here. Okay, so this is something that we will have to continue to investigate. I want to create at least one animated sequence. I think it would be great to do it with one of our character. Maybe we can test this, but we can test it, you know, in an empty level, right? It can really be tested in a stupid empty level, because the character spawn can even be a cube, right? The only important point is that the cube will have an animation through an animation blueprint, which is only available to that cube, and our sequencer should be able to trigger that animation, right? Because if it's only able to apply generic stuff like I see here, you know, you see that this actor only has a transform. I don't know, maybe he only has transform, and so. But yeah, but for him this is generic. So anyway. Okay, I need to go, guys. I really need to go. So thanks for watching. Let me see if we can do a small raid, just because Unreal Engine raided us. So I think is the minimum we can do. Oops, the minimum we can do is to raid someone else, even if we lost all the people, but no problem. Warka is there, but is playing Call of Duty. Team Vash is doing something. This guy, I hope there is no advertising. Nice. He's doing a BMX thingy. But I don't know if this is his game or is it this his game? No, it's BMX the game. No, I think it is not his game. This guy is playing Cyberpunk 2077. So I think the only solution at the moment for Unreal is Team Vash. Okay, so we will raid Team Vash. They are also making an MMO, and you may be interested into that. So if you want to join the raid, say hello, and we will see each other Saturday, probably Saturday afternoon. Okay, I don't know if we will continue with this. I have no idea. I will think about it. I will think about it. But yeah. See you boys next time. Bye bye.